John, the indoor garden guy from AeroGrow, and it's been just 3 weeks, just 21 days since we first planted our gourmet herb seed kit in the Aerogarden. And I tell you, we're ready for our first harvest today. Now the first thing we'll do is check our water light or our nutrient light to see if they're blinking and see if we need to do anything, but they're not. Now even though the add water light isn't blinking, I'm just going to top it off because the garden grows better if you keep it full of water. Now that we've checked our water nutrients, let's take a look at our plants, which have really grown a lot in this last week. Our Genovese basil's grown so much that it almost needs pruning. And the oregano's grown really well too, and it's almost ready to start going on some pizza there, but we'll wait one more week before we prune either of those two. Our dill is looking beautiful here, and we're ready to take the dome off that and let it start to really grow. Our glow basil starts to take its characteristic shape, its bushiness. It's wonderful basil, really great anise flavor to it. And our lemon basil is ready to harvest and start pruning today, so we'll get a hack in on that in a little bit. Our thyme is looking beautiful as well. And the mint is starting to go too. Now your basils, like the Genovese and the lemon basil back here, are always going to grow faster than the other plants in your gourmet herb seed kit. And what you want to do then is you want to keep those basils trimmed down low so they get bushy and full and low growing so that the lights stay low for your other plants. If your basil grows up and you just start raising the lights up to keep up with the basils, your other plants, your low growers like your oregano and your thyme, aren't going to get enough light and they aren't going to grow very well and give you good yields. So our first pruning, and that means our first harvest, is going to come at just 3 weeks from planting. And let me show you what we do. So we trim that right above that leaf node and we have some nice harvest too. Smells wonderful. Lemon basil just has a great fresh aroma and it tastes wonderful too. That's not going to make it in any dish. I'm just going to eat that one right there. We're going to do the same thing to this other little basil plant now. Trimming right above the leaf node there and eating that. And next week that's going to turn into 2 little basil plants where there was just 1. So each time you prune a basil plant above that leaf node, it splits from 1 branch into 2 branches growing. So it's like multiplying your basil every time you prune. And that's going to make it bushier and bushier and lower growing and higher yielding every time you prune. So that's it for our week 3 check-in. We checked our nutrients, didn't need to do anything there. We added just a little bit of water, and we trimmed back our lemon basil too and had our first harvests. Check back with us next week. You'll be amazed at how much it grows in just another week. And just before we go, let's see if we've got any root action going on too. I love this about the Aerogarden. You can just pop out a pot and check out the roots. You can see there we've got good root growth going on. They're nice and healthy and white, and they're really just starting to get started. This plant is just going to take off from this point on and really start developing a major root system and incredible top growth to give you lots and lots of harvest as the weeks go on. So there's our gourmet herb seed kit at just 3 weeks old. We've already enjoyed our first little harvest, and just to put it in perspective, if we had planted these seeds in dirt 3 weeks ago, we'd just be getting germination right now. We wouldn't have these nice healthy plants already. Check back with us next week. We'll be a month into it at that point, and if you have any questions in the meantime, shoot me an email at asktheexpert@aerogrow.com. Thanks and happy gardening.